Hi there, who's out there? Oh my goodness. Hi, guys. You will never believe what I did this morning. Hi, everybody. I knew I had done something wrong this morning when I started. So, what happened this morning, for those of you who are here, I did the live stream at 8 as usual, and I guess I had it set to unlisted or private. And so I finished it, and I thought, well, I'll just let you guys watch the video. And so I went to fix it up, and somehow I deleted it. So here we are. We're going to do this live now, and hopefully you guys will stick around. Tell me who's out there. Is anybody awake? Are you all mad? Don't be mad. Life's too short for that business. We're going to do something really fun today. Hi, Kathy. Hi. Hi. Mariam from Athens. Are you new, or are you my Marietta? Excuse me. Do we have a new one from Athens? Which would be very ultra cool. All right. Hi, Sue. How are you today? Hi, Michelle. Yay, Australia. Oh, yes. Okay, Athens. I gotcha. I wanted to make sure that you were the same person and I wasn't talking to someone else. Hi, Elariva. Is that how you say your name from the UK? It's so good to have you today. All right, guys, let's start this morning by taking some deep breaths. Hi, Lisa. Let's breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do one more, and let your shoulders drop down and relax. In through the nose and out through the mouth. There you go. I am much more relaxed now. Let us start the day in the traditional Zentangle fashion, and let's put 4 dots and a border line. It's a little bit, the angle's a little bit funny on this. We'll see what we can do here. I'm trying to avoid that problem I had last week with the focus on this. So forgive me. I'm still trying to make this work with the phone. So I'm just going to draw in some basic lines here for a border. And then we're going to really do something fun with this, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to draw in a very wiggly, loopy string. And so we want lots and lots of sections. So make it as dynamic as you would like, as fun as you like. You're just going to leave yourself lots and lots of sections. Okay? All right. Here we are. Take your pen, and I'm using my 01 micron in black today, although I very much thought about using blue because that's the mood I'm in today. Good morning, Janet. Oh, let me try to fix this a little bit. Goodness. This whole zooming on the phone thing is not easy. All right. What I want to do today is in whatever way you would like, oh, here we go with this. All right. In whatever way you would like, I want you to fill these sections with some straight lines or curved lines or aura lines. Basically, let's start right here in this corner. I'm going to fill this section, actually I want to do it this way, with some lines that I feel like are going to fill this section in, and these are going to be curved simply because I feel like this should be curved. But you may do these in whatever way your creativity leads you to do them. What we want to work on today is the line consistency. What I mean by line consistency, and this is not a good example of that, is mirroring the line or reflecting the line that comes before. And because this is something that I struggle with, see if I can zoom a little bit without messing this up too badly. Excuse me. Can't do that with my pen in my mouth. Here, let's try this. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to try to keep all of my lines consistent. I'm going to try to leave the same width consistency. That word may be a little bit more than my tongue can handle this morning. I want you to slow down, take your time. I want your entire focus to be on the feel of the pen and making that line, each line consistent with the one that comes before. When you finish a section, I want you to turn your tile, find another section, and do that section. Basically, you want these sections to go in different directions. So that when we're finished, we have something interesting. But you may do them however you like, in whatever direction you like. And right now I'm rushing, so I need to slow down. Even the small ones deserve attention, the short ones. So I am just going to move around here, filling in sections as I like. You may do this as you wish. And if you want to do yours straight across, you may. I just find that the curved effect gives it a really cool effect. I'm not feeling particularly loquacious today. Ooh, that one was for you, Lynn Ware. I should probably not do so much of that on these. I know not everyone has English as their first language. And so my desire to play with the English language is probably not fair to some of you. So I will try to behave myself. No promises, though. I'm not very good at behaving. This is not as relaxing for me. I need to push out today as some of the other things we've done, but it is still possible to lose yourself in it. Just focusing on the consistency of the lines, which is again why I chose this today, because this is something I struggle with. And just like the blacking, something that I need to practice so that I am not always rushing it, basically. So just focus on the lines and the consistency. turning your tile with each changed section so that when they come up against each other, you have some differences. You may leave some blank if you wish. You do not have to fill them all in. However, you are going to get a really cool effect if you do. Just lightly stroke the pen across the paper. You do not have to use a Zentangle tile to participate, of course. You just need a piece of paper and a pen. Preferably, the pen is something that draws smoothly. But if you don't have a technical pen, use whatever you have. This can be done with ballpoints, but if it's not a good ballpoint, it can be frustrating. Let's see. Oops, sorry. I lost you. Let's do this one this way. So as you can see, I'm just slightly differing in each section the angle that I'm filling the lines with. And, well, this turned out kind of cool, didn't it? Unintentional, but very cool. And that's a cool thing about doing tangles. Sometimes when you put them down on paper, they become something completely unexpected. And that is cool and fine. All right. Let's see. There we go. Try to make sure that your hand is in a comfortable position. Try to keep your hand in the same position for each of these lines. That will aid your consistency or the similarity between the lines. Rick Roberts always says that we aren't looking for line perfection, but we are looking for line consistency. And so I really like that. Let's see. Okay. So this is kind of fun. Not hard at all. And since these seem to want to curve, I'm just going to let them. Let your pen be your guide. Let your creativity flow and just go with it. That is, I'm trying for that to be my life philosophy. It's just, it's sort of the when life gives you lemonade or lemons make lemonade kind of a thing. You can choose to be angry and upset when life throws you some really tough things to deal with. Trust me, I know. But it's how you deal with them. It's how you perceive them and approach them. And if you can keep a positive attitude, so much the better. And when this one comes, when this one comes in here, I am just drawing up to it and stopping. In the end, this other section will look like it sits on top when we shade it. We'll see. Let's see, where now? Let's do this. So just keep turning your tile. And adding your lines And make yourself happy the way you turn those. If you want them straight across, do that. Just leave it, Cindy. Just leave it. So this one, I think I will do this way. I hope you guys had a great weekend. For some reason, I get to the weekends and I'm just so tired, I'm not getting anything accomplished. That's a very good question from Athens. Whether or not the Zentangle method is about meditation or what? Good question. I think depending on who you ask, you may get a different answer. I will tell you the beginnings of the Zentangle method were came along when Maria Thomas, who is a calligrapher and does a lot of manuscript illuminations, that kind of things, and those kinds of things. And one day she was in her studio and working on something, and I guess she came out, or Rick Roberts came in to find her in there, and was she was amazed at how much time had flown and how relaxed that she was when she stopped drawing, and she was talking to him about it, and they that was sort of where everything came from, Zentangle wise, was that feeling of relaxation that she got when she was drawing, and how they could replicate that for other people. So Zentangle themselves at zentangle.com defines Zentangle as a fun, easy to learn method of making beautiful pictures or art using structured patterns. Now, and that is their definition. Now, for me, the meditation part is the important part. That is one reason why I have been doing these little meditations on Mondays, is because when I was at Certified Zentangle Teacher Training, the most meaningful class that I was in was taught by Molly Hollabaugh, Maria's daughter, and it was a voice guided Zentangle meditation where you weren't given any visual material. You just listened to her voice and followed her instructions. And when we finished, that class of 200 people had 200 completely different interpretations of it. But I walked away from that class feeling so relaxed and so zenned out that ever since I came back, I was trying to figure out a way to replicate that feeling for you guys here, because I felt like, for me, in dealing with my illness and dealing with my struggles and stresses that I've had over the last few years, um, the healing part of Zentangle, of the Zentangle method, was what was important. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but they recently did a research study down in the Caribbean in St. Martin with medical students, and they wanted to know, the premise of the study was if they switched out these busy, stressed out medical students and they stopped their counseling but put them in Zentangle class for that hour of counseling instead, what kind of results would we get? Because we've known, those of us who have been practicing Zentangle, we know that there are health benefits, but they have never been quantified scientifically. And what this study found, my dear friend CZT, Dr. Ellie Miller, was part of that. She was the teacher in the study, and she was really excited by the results, and they were kind of amazed at what came out of that. that the results were so positive that these stressed out medical students, many of them, had better results with relaxation with Zentangle than they did through counseling or any of the other methods that they were doing. I'm turning this around, trying to figure out what direction to go. If I go this direction, then I have made this section the same. If I go this way, then I've done this the same. If I do this, I guess I could do it this way. Let's find out what's going to happen here. Anyway, the point of that story was to let you know that I think practitioners of the Zentangle method would say that it's a meditation. Um, the method in Zentangle is relaxation and appreciation and gratitude and breathing and relaxing and that kind of thing. And that is very meditational. So it's a difficult question to answer, um, because I think Zentangle becomes different things to different people. For me, it is very meditational. It was a way to get rid of my stress. Um, I frequently struggled with when I had many doctor's appointments or um, waiting for surgeries or things like that. I found that tangling during the waiting helped my anxiety level tremendously. I think I've told you guys the story about the chemo chair, where my blood pressure was so high going in, but coming out it was great. So for me, it's meditational, but I think different people are going to give a different answer to that. So that's my non-answer for you. Um, I don't know if I can answer that better. The meditation is in the Zentangle method, but many people think that Zentangle is just about the patterns. And so I think there's some misunderstandings there about the goal. And I did want to say that, you know, the patterns are not what Zentangle is. The Zentangle method is a method, a process of using patterns. And I feel like the patterns are the process through which Zentangle relaxes us. And so I think for Rick and Maria, it's it's relaxation, beauty, and fun all together. I think that's what we get when we added Rick Roberts' very meditational Buddhist monk history with Maria Thomas's art and um, that kind of thing. Um, Zentangle is, you know, it's wonderful. And it doesn't just have to be meditational, it is so much fun. I find that it's great for calming kids down when they're too wound up. So, I think it's whatever you like, and people use Zentangle in different ways all the time. Hello, Petra, Gustisch, wie geht's dir heute? Wait a second, I have to zoom out on this a little bit. Whoops. Hey, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I wanted you to be able to see the whole thing for shading. So shading is also going to be very intuitive. I want you to shade wherever you like. Basically, if you come up to a spot like this one and you feel like we should put some shading right here, shade right there. Okay? You want to shade right here, shade right here. Shade however you would like that to be done. and you're just going to make a shading, well, I'm wanting to use a fancy word and I'm not sure if I can find a good synonym for it. Just section it off with your shading. And by shading around on the sides, you're going to give the sections a sort of a puffed out, pillowy look. Which will give it a really fun, sort of finished off effect. Whoops. I have seen Zentangle artists do all kinds of things with their Zentangle. I have seen, people selling it on Etsy. I have seen them use it to create fabrics and shoes and clothes. I have seen people do things like animal shapes and tangling inside them. I mean, there's lots and lots and lots of different things. Plus, this is really cool, and what Zentangle loves is making the mosaics, having people doing the same projects and putting the tiles together and looking at the differences and similarities and how what a neat thing that is. And it is a neat thing. That's one of the things at CZT seminar I really enjoyed was seeing everyone's art together, how everyone interpreted the same instructions so vastly differently, and knowing that the people there were from all around the world, seeing how people approach things differently depending on where they're from is fun. Culturally, I just love it. And I love the fact that it crosses cultural boundaries and language boundaries and becomes its own communication device. I think that's a great part of Zentangle. Um, Good question. Good question from Athens. Lots of good stuff there. Athens, were you thinking about a way to use Zentangle that's maybe not traditional? I would love to know what you're thinking about. By the way, guys, there is a new Zentangle Project Pack series of videos out. They are here on YouTube. You can just search for the Zentangle channel, the official Zentangle channel, and find them there. The theme of this one, by the way, is no mistakes, which is dovetails nicely. Hi, Lynn. Um, oh, like journal pages. But I want you guys to go and watch the introduction to Pack 6, where Maria shows her journal and tells the story about something that happened to it. Sorry, because I recorded this already once this morning, I'm not sure what I said there and what I said here, so forgive me if I've repeated and forgive me if I say something that doesn't make any sense to you. All right, I think I've about got this shaded. Just have to blend it out and we will call it done. All right. So just blend it up into each section. Sorry about the wiggling. When I use my phone, it has a gooseneck mount on it, and so when I shade, it moves the mount and makes it shake. So I apologize for that. One reason I prefer using the iPad, but that was just not going to work anymore. And it'll be another month, I think, before I can get anything done about that. One thing at a time, guys. We'll just make it work until then. I think I might have thought this through a little bit better, but the point of this isn't thinking. The point of this is to just go with it, do what feels right, and whatever comes out is going to be fine. Thank God. Thank God for that, huh? Nobody's making any rules that you have to do things a certain way. I'm not very good at following rules, so I don't think I should really be the one to make them. How much fun is this, guys? We went from wiggly sections, something really fun. And I will probably, the shading doesn't look as deep on film, on camera, as it does to me personally in here, well, than it does to me in person. But it's still pretty cool looking, isn't it? And as long as you've got your sections turned slightly differently from each other, it's going to work. And the great thing is you can't get it wrong. If two of your sections end up looking like one, then shade them that way. That's okay. No problem. All right. Oh, I'm so glad. That's a good way to spend a summer, isn't it? Well, of course, following me is a great way to spend a summer. I'm just teasing. Although I'm glad you have. Where to put the chop today? I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to see if I can make it look like it belongs here. Slow down. I think I'll do this. And this. I hope you can understand me okay. I know I have an accent. I try not to let it get a hold of me too much, but it happens. Here. Sort of matches now. Fun. All right. So this is the one that I did earlier today that you missed, that I missed. And this is the one we did just now. Completely different looks, completely different entities. So what did you guys come up with? If you post these, be sure and tag me at the Tireless Dangler, because I want to hang out with you and see what you've done. And this is really fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I do apologize for it being half an hour late. I will try to get my act together a little bit better from now on. I don't make any promises. One thing I did mention earlier that I don't think I mentioned this time is that I'm going to change up Tangle Tuesdays just a tiny bit. We're going to take one tangle and focus on it, focus on variations and shading and some of the different ways that we can do that instead of just packing 3 into the video. I think that might be something different than is out there. A lot of people do step out videos, but I want to do something a little bit different. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Be sure and leave me your comments and your thoughts about things. This is what we did today. Thank you for being with me so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.